one thing no one's ever said about Nick Walker is that he's too small. And
No.
so coming up to
What's up guys, I'm Malcolm. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with this bold prediction from none other than the mutant Nick Walker himself about his comeback show, which is gonna be of course Pittsburgh Pro, a show that might have one of the deepest men's open lineup of this upcoming 2025 season. But it seems like that the last 2 years, which just won the best of Nick Walker, they haven't shaken his confidence even a tiny bit. And he does have a point here, that if he was able to beat Martin-Fitzwater at the New York Pro last year, while not even being close to his personal best, he should definitely feel confident about this show, considering he started this prep at 17 weeks out, and that too above 300 pounds. Now Sean Ray also had something to say about this peak season weight of Nick Walker in the latest episode of Voice of Bodybuilding on Bob Shakaralo's YouTube channel. And that was Nick Walker going up to 300 pounds. And he is already one of the biggest and one of the most freakiest guys in the men's open bodybuilding. According to Sean Ray, this shouldn't have been his strategy.
Was this the right strategy for Nick Walker, bro, as he comes up on this 2025 season?
it's a hard no. And I mean a hard no. He's shorter than I am.
But aren't us the fans asking Nick Walker to bring that freak factor back, like he had back at the Arnold 2021 or at the Olympia 2022? I mean, we can all agree that Nick Walker isn't gonna beat a guy like Martin-Fitzwater or any other shape freak in terms of the aesthetics and the flow, because all of these other top guys, they have this structural advantage over Nick Walker, and his only chance is to outmuscle all these guys, outcondition them. So Nick is in kind of a very hard place here, because he needs to bring a smaller waistline as well as the size that he had back at the Arnold 2021, because according to him, that is the best physique of his career so far.
If I'm a betting man, you're telling me he's 300 pounds,
What he
17
said.
weeks out. I
Yeah.
think, and you got Martin Fitzwater standing in your way. And Martin should have beat him in the last show. I don't know if this was the best move for Nick Walker. He should be showing you, I'm doing cardio every day. I'm eating vegetables every day.
Now, can he bring back that look? That's the big question. And as per Sean Ray, Nick should have stayed in striking distance to being in a contest-ready shape instead of being over 300 pounds. Now, I do feel like there is a shift in Nick's mindset as far as the Olympia is concerned. The old Nick Walker would have said that he isn't only gonna win the Pittsburgh Pro, he's gonna be back in the Olympia top 3. But he knows he needs to prove his worth. He needs to prove himself again, first at the Pittsburgh Pro, and then think about the Olympia. Next up, we have an update from the conqueror, William Bonac. Now, as we are less than 8 weeks out of this upcoming Arnold, and with the consistency that William has shown us, ever since he started working with Stefan, it is always a mistake to count William Bonac out, especially for the top 5, because none of us thought that William Bonac is going to be beating Brendan Carey and Rafael Brandel at this past Miss Olympia. But he did do that, and he was just outside of the top 6 at the Olympia last year. So the only thing that William has lost over these years is that wow factor. Just look at the comparison between him and Brendan Carey from 2019 Arnold. It was arguably the best of both these guys, both of these former Arnold Classic champions. But William Bonac, being a narrow guy, he did not look so narrow when he started hitting all those shots. And there was this just incredible pop to his muscles. He looked so round, so full, so bubbly. And that was so unique back then. And that is what William Bonac has been missing since 2022 Miss Olympia. Now Stefan, his coach, he seems to be extremely confident that William Bonac is going to be fighting for the top 5 finish at this upcoming Arnold. And on paper, that is a realistic call, because the man just placed top 7 at the Olympia last year, and his conditioning looks kind of insane at 7 weeks out, while all these other guys, they might come in a bit off. William Bonac is just always on, and that is where he can expose all these other guys. So this isn't exactly a physique update, but just a little sneak peek from Sergio Oliva Jr. as he's prepping for FIBA Germany that is scheduled in the 2nd week of April. And that pretty much makes Sergio 13 weeks out of his first show after almost 18 months. Because the last show that he did, that was Cali Pro back in 2023. And it was in a very unusual circumstances that he was able to fly from Dubai to the US at the very last minute and compete. And placing 3rd in that kind of lineup, That just wasn't a good look for Sergio. But considering the fact that he just wasn't planning to do that show, I have got to say the man did okay. Now Sergio is in that long list of those IFBB pros who are working with Stefan for this upcoming year. And this is gonna be their first show together. Now Sergio being 40 years old, he doesn't have a lot of time, so he has to make this count. The fact is the man has been competing for a long time. Now as per Sergio himself, he did not win the Arnold back in 2021 when Nick Walker won it because he did not pick right for that show. And that was a show where Sergio not only placed behind Nick Walker, but Ian Valier, Steve Kuglo, Jason Rodriguez, and Akeem Williams. Now that being said, Sergio really had this belief that with the kind of size and the physique that he has, he can win big shows, like the Arnold against guys like Nick Walker. Now we know Martin isn't doing FIBO, but guys like James Hollingshead, Goodvito, Carlos Thomas Jr., and some other guys who are going to be potentially there, they shouldn't be counted out either. So the point I'm trying to make here is that this just isn't going to be an easy show to win. So do you guys think Sergio can really shock the bodybuilding world and qualify for the Olympia after 7 years? Or is he done? Do let me know what you guys think. So these pictures mark the end of the off-season for the Egyptian tank Hassan Mustafa, as he is about to start his prep for this upcoming season. Now Hassan stayed over 300 pounds for most part of this off-season, and he was deliberately not trying to get any bigger, any heavier, because more size is the last thing that he needed. And the biggest negative change we have seen in Hassan's physique over the years is how chasing size totally changed his waistline, and he is now a very muscular, yet a very blocky bodybuilder. Now, I still think that the first prep that he did with Chris Aceto back in 2019, that was probably the most balanced look of Hassan's career. And going by his run last year in 2024, it is gonna be even harder for him to win a show and earn his Olympia spot for this year, unless he peaks absolutely perfectly, which he is 100% capable of. Because the thing is, a guy like Hassan, who has so much muscle mass, he doesn't need to shine in the area of aesthetics to win the shows, because the years 2023 and 2022, they are a proof of that. So Chad Nichols was the one coaching him in 2023, and he got him in pretty good shape, and he did place 11th at the Olympia that year. So him parting ways with Chad Nichols and working with different coach in 2024, that just totally backfired. Now Hassan was not even in the top 5 in the last couple of shows that he did, especially in Chicago Pro, a show that he was supposed to win. The reigning 212 Olympia champion Keone Pon finally goes back to the gym after a 4-week rest and recovery period that was required after getting that gyno surgery done. And although there is no chance that we're gonna see Keone in the men's open class anytime soon, but the man is keeping this topic alive by giving his fans all these subtle hints, because Keone's physique in the 212, that is just so supreme and so damn dominating and on such a different level that it is gonna be a walk in the park for Keone yet another time this year, no matter how the competition shows up. And with this focus now that he already has on having a more of a midsection control for this upcoming season, Keone is just gonna be so damn untouchable. He made such a great point here, watching this posing of Sean Ray, and this just goes to show you that Sean is an absolute legend of the sport, because he competed against all these guys who were 250 plus pounds from the 90s era, and he just kept on beating all these guys throughout his career while weighing 30 pounds less than all these guys. I mean, the man went one-on-one against one of the most dominant guys of the 90s era, Dorian Yates, and many believe he should have won back in 94. Now, I personally think that Keone has more genetic gifts than Sean Ray, and a lot of people are gonna be shocked on how well he's gonna compare to some of these bigger guys in the men's open class whenever he decides to do this transition. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.